Didik TV KPM.
You are now watching Menengah Atas or Upper Form on Didik TV KPM together with me, Sean Stephen, and also Puan Sugi for English Shop Till You Drop. Over to you.
Thank you, Sean. All right, guys, we have come to the point where it is almost at the end of the lesson. So every time we have a lesson, it's a good idea to recap what have I learned today. Okay, now today we have learned the features of an opening paragraph. If you remember correctly, Sean, I gave 4 features of an opening paragraph.
Yes.
Okay, the things that you're supposed to remember when you want to write an opening paragraph. And lucky thing, we have 4 awesome people here today. All right. Let's start with Hugo. Hugo, can you remember one point or feature of an opening paragraph that you remember?
Our tone, it should be less formal.
Very good. Okay, the tone should be less formal. Try to keep it friendly. Try to keep it not very formal, and also something that would include your reader as if your reader is your friend or someone that you know. Okay, how about you, Eka? What feature do you remember when writing an opening paragraph?
Usage of us and we.
That's right. Okay, you have to remember. Thank you, Eka. You have to remember that you are a teenager and the reader is also a teenager. So what you need to do is use the word we. Use the word us. Okay, so that the reader doesn't feel like you're not talking to him or you're not including him in your writing when you're making your sentences and forming your questions and so on. Okay, let's call Izan. Izan, what is another feature of an opening paragraph?
Entertain and inform.
Okay, it must be something that is entertaining and you have to inform your readers of something or piece of information or a message maybe, right? So it must be entertaining. Like Izan mentioned just now in his writing, he said, who doesn't like to look good, right? So it must be something that really makes you think and makes you maybe laugh or maybe just chuckle a little bit, all right? So very good. And the last one, Bhavan, what is the last feature that I taught you today?
The ideas must be in the form of questions.
That's right. Okay, the ideas must be in the form of question. Do you know why, Sean? Why does it have to be in the form of a question?
I would say to make it more interesting rather than just reading facts. So it's a different way of communicating the message to the reader.
That's right. And Sean is listening he's a very good student. Okay, so in this case, we want your writing to be lively. We want it to jump out of the page in some sense of the word, all right? So we want it to be interesting enough so that the reader will read the next paragraph, all right? Okay, now let's look at what you have said just now, and 4 out of 4, you got it all right. Clap for yourself.
Yeah,
okay.
Well done.
2 thumbs up for yourself as well. This is exactly what I mentioned earlier in the lesson, all right? And they have got it all right. Okay, so they're actually listening, so fantastic. Good for you. Okay, now, I spoke about writing a plan for our article. Okay, you had 4 questions you needed to talk about, right, or elaborate, right? Whenever you have a question or whenever you have a task, read the task and understand what is it that you're going to do. Okay, so in this case, you had to choose between a sports shop, a clothes shop and an electronic shop. And today we had decided to be a little bit fashionable, a little bit trendy. We went for the clothes shop. Now, if you had chosen the sports shop, what are some of the items that can be found in a sports shop, right? It can be, what can we find there, Eka? What can we find in a sports shop?
You can get badminton racket or running shoes.
That's right. Okay. Anything to do with health and fitness. Am I right? Okay. Now, the second part of the question is, or the task was to tell us what kind of shop it is. What does it sell? Okay. The clothes shop, in this case, it would be having to do the latest trendy, fashionable apparel. And if it is an electronic shop, it would be something that would sell a lot of gadgets and telecommunication equipment. Right. Izen, what is your favorite gadget that you always use?
Smartphone.
Your smartphone. Okay. None of us can live without our smartphone. Am I right, Sean?
That's very
Okay.
true.
Okay. Right. Now, the next point is, what do they want to buy? Okay. So, if you're going to an electronic shop, you would buy gadgets. Give examples of the gadgets that you're going to buy. Can Bhavan, can you read for me what I can buy at an electronic shop?
Sure. You can buy some gadgets and telecommunication equipment such as handphone, tablets, laptops, and others.
That's right. Okay. And before this, we were having online classes. This was such in a rage because people used to look for these items to be used during your online classes, right? Okay. And the last question that I focused on today was, why is it important to them? Why do teenagers want to buy all these things? What is it for? All right. Modern teenagers, what do they want? Hugo, if you don't mind, can you read for us, please?
Yeah. So they buy these electronics to get updated about what's happening in all around the world.
That's right, okay. Besides that, they also want to be up to date in terms of fashion, mobile gadgets and also sports apparel. We all want to be up to date. Am I right, Sean?
Yes, yes. And
That's
also
right.
when you mention about electronical devices, having a device that's more up to date will have more of its features. For example, if you were to use a mobile phone that doesn't have internet, for example, you wouldn't be able to attend your classes if your classes were online. So something like that, I would say.
Exactly, Sean. Right, so we have come to the end of our lesson.
Didik TV KPM